Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to another yoga stream. Today we're gonna warm up. We're just gonna heat up the entire body, all the muscles. So we're going a bit fast maybe. If we're going too fast for you, just don't worry. Just skip some poses. Try to do a few of them. It's gonna warm you up anyway, okay? So make sure you have a yoga mat. So you need some grip. Otherwise you're gonna slip all over the place and we don't want any accidental splits or whatever. Okay, so let's get started. Now, because we're only going to do this for 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to start standing up. Okay, so we're not going to waste time here. But we are going to take a minute to land, just to feel where we are. You can place your feet together, which means you bring the big toes together, heels slightly outwards so the ankles don't touch. Or you bring the feet hip distance apart, so you bring them a little bit wider. There's no difference in good or bad, just feel what is best for you here. And try to relax the knees, so don't lock them. Hips in line, tuck the navel in a little bit, so the tailbone goes down. That way you activate the belly without squeezing. Relax the shoulders, so shoulders are over the hips. And if you want, you can open up the hands, so you bring the palms forward, thumbs facing outwards. That way you kind of roll the shoulders back automatically. So you open up a little bit more in the chest area and you lengthen the muscles on the front. Okay, so only if it is okay. It might be a little bit, feels a little bit stiff. It's quite okay. If it's uncomfortable, just bring the hands down and try to relax them a little bit more. But keep them part of the pose, okay? So don't just let them dangle anywhere. Keep them a little bit active. Stretch them out. And if you want, you stretch them open. So that's the difference. And from the crown of the head, try to make length. So if you want, you can tuck the chin in a tiny bit and then bring the chin backwards, okay? So you don't just round the back, you lengthen the back of the neck. And sometimes 5% of your range of motion can be enough to make a very big difference in how you're feeling in certain areas. And especially the neck, the shoulder area, upper back area is very sensitive for slight differences. Just pulling the shoulder blades a little bit together, pulling the chin a little bit in, already give a very big relief in pain in the neck and shoulders, okay? So be aware of that. How does it feel for you? Keep breathing like this, very slowly. So even though you're standing up, breathe into the belly. So keep a little bit of space down under to make sure that you're not gonna hold the breath. And then we're gonna clap our hands together and just wash them very firmly. Press them together. Very good. And then shake it off. Shake the arms, the elbows, shoulders. And you can just swing them up, cross and down, let them cross. Just swing them a little bit and just keep breathing. There's no need for any specifics. We're just gonna swing. And then let them relax. Just let the swing die out. Relax the hands, so no firm hands in Tadasana, just relaxed hands. And maybe you already start to feel a little bit of a tingling sensation in the fingers or the hands. Or maybe more of a heartbeat. It's at your experience, so whatever you feel is okay. Just try to be aware of it. And we're going to go for a second round. So we're going to clap, and then we're going to wash our hands firmly, firmly, firmly. So you feel the heat, right? You feel the heat from the hands rubbing together and shake it off. Arms, shoulders. And we're going to swing again. Up and down. Up and down. Keep breathing. Very important. Yeah, very good. Okay. And just let it swing down out. We're going to do the same thing with the arms, but then back to front. So we're going to roll them backwards a little bit. Keep the knees bended. You can always make a bit a wider stand if it's uncomfortable for you like this. And we're going to do the same thing to the front. We're just warming up here, folks, so no need to make a fuss. We're just going to warm up. It's important to warm up the shoulders for our exercises today. So if you feel you need any more shoulder warming ups, like rolling or stretching, anything you like, just go for it. And then when you're ready, we are going to start with our poses, okay? So you can come to the front of your mat. Make sure you stand strong and long. And then you can decide how to come down. We're going to downward facing dog. You can roll yourself down, so you keep the navel tucked in and you lean forward. Or you can make a long back. Keep the weight in the feet, knees bent. And slowly make your way towards the ground until your hands are on the floor. And then you step back into a downward facing dog. You can make this stand a bit wider if you want. If you have a lower back problem, just keep the feet a little bit apart. You can always keep the knees bended, and we're just gonna walk the dog, okay? So our heels are tapping the floor while our toes are still in place. You can just hang your hips a little bit one by one. Try to keep all your fingertips on the floor firmly. So the weight is not only on the wrists, the weight is on the entire hand. If I'm going to start to sound weird, it's because I'm hanging upside down. Always a bit weird. Keep the knees slightly bended if you like. And we're going into a wild thing, or a three-legged dog. So for this, we're going to keep all the weight on the left foot. We're going to lift the right leg up, all the way up, open the hip. So you open up towards the right, keep the weight on both of your hands, and then bend the right knee. So you bend it over the left hip. And if you watch under the left elbow, or under the left shoulder pit, armpit, you can see your right foot. Keep the weight back. So try to relax your left foot on the floor. Relax the toes. And just keep breathing. When you breathe out, slowly come back down. Both feet are touching the floor. And we're going to go into a high plank. So you bring the weight onto your wrists. So the elbows. Sorry, I'm so bad with the names today. I don't know what's going on. The shoulders are over the hands. And I'm always making fists because I have a wrist problem. If you can just keep your hands flat on the floor. And we're going into vinyasa. So from here you can go with your knees on the floor, or you can make a lower plank. So you're kind of levitating above the floor. Slowly bring the knees to the floor, chest to the floor, chin to the floor. And then come into cobra. You bring the elbows back. Lift the sternum. Keep breathing. We're going back to downward facing dog again. Nose towards the floor. Try to lift the hips and the shoulders up, and then the knees, so you don't hang in the lower back. Back to downward facing dog. From here, bring all the weight onto the right foot. Leave it firmly on the floor or slightly lifted, depending on how far you can bend. And then lift the left foot all the way up and over. So you bend the knee. And open the left hip. Keep the weight on the hands and keep it backwards. So keep your hands long, arms long, all the weight goes towards the back. Breathing. And then slowly, slowly lower your feet back onto the mat. Come into the plank again. Shoulders are over your hands. Make a line, so don't lift the hips too much and don't hang in the lower back. Very important to find that middle ground. It's better to lift the hips more than not enough. And again, you can just place your knees on the floor if you want. Then your chin, then your chest. We're going to a very low plank, hover above the floor. And then let all three come together. Breathe in. Come to Cobra pose. Open up through the chest. Keep breathing. And back to downward facing dog. Nose towards the floor, otherwise you're going to hang the back. Push yourself off the floor. And into downward facing dog. Very good. From here, keep a few breaths. Take a few breaths in downward facing dog. If you want to rest, you can always bring your knees to the floor. You can come all the way to child's pose for a rest. So you don't have to stay in downward facing dog. You can always just wiggle, find your movement. And from here you can slowly bring your elbows on the floor. Try to not let them get too much outward, so keep them on shoulder wide. Keep breathing. Standing in dolphin pose now. You can bend the knees more. It's a very strong pose for the shoulders. If you want, you can move the weight a little bit towards the hands. And back up again. Keep the knees bended, just so you can easily keep the back long. And take a few more breaths here. And slowly, slowly, bring your knees to the ground. Keep your hands and your arms long, going to extended child's pose here. You can keep the knees together or wide apart. Relax the head on the floor for a moment. But keep it a little bit active. So keep the arms up, hands active. And then place the hands more alongside the head. So you can push yourself up, roll yourself up. And you can bring the arms up. Into hero pose. Have a nice stretch here. And when you breathe out, slowly lower the arms again. Okay guys, very good. We're going to end as well in hero pose. If you want to sit in any different posture, you can do so. And just take a few moments. Keep breathing. Again, that moment of reflection, and as well, because we're not going into Shavasana, so also take this moment to refocus on the breath. If you lost focus or awareness, it happens very easily. I notice it myself because I'm talking as well, that my rhythm, my breathing goes away from me. Just take a moment to regulate your breath. Normal, easy, natural breathing again. Relax the belly. It's very easy in this pose usually to keep the belly completely relaxed. And you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. And you can thank yourself. Taking this time, even 15 minutes, 10 minutes out of your day. Still, you took an effort in taking care of yourself, loving yourself enough to do this. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Namaste. And as always, I enjoyed doing this for you. I hope you enjoyed watching and joining me. If so, you can always leave a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. It would be a big help for me, personally. And if you have any questions or requests, or you want to share something, leave it in the comments. It would be very much appreciated. And I hope to see you next time. Let me know if I can do anything that you would like to learn on the yoga mat. And we can always just wiggle that in somewhere. Have a good day. Bye bye.